And we begin with a CityNews exclusive. And if this story doesn't have you double or triple checking your prescription medicine, then maybe nothing will. It's a story about how a man was given the wrong medication prescriptively and the terrible impact it has had on his life. The story tonight from Avery Haynes.
Rick Olmstead is only 51 years old. He's not the man he used to be.
I sit there and try to think everything out.
Rick's been in poor health for years. He has diabetes, his kidneys are failing, he's on dialysis, and he needs handfuls of pills every day. But that's nothing compared to the medical issues he faces now.
He almost died. I was scared he was going to die. Like, they pulled out the crash cart.
The Olmstead's medical nightmare began in the most routine of ways here at the Shoppers Drug Mart in Newcastle.
Well, I went in to pick his meds up like I usually did on Sunday.
The blister pack is filled with new medications to prepare for Rick's upcoming kidney dialysis.
By Wednesday, I was starting to get suspicious something was wrong.
Patricia chalks up her husband's increasingly odd behavior to the new meds, so Rick continues to pop his pills. And then?
I remember blacking out at the top of the stairs. And the next thing I knew, I was in the hospital.
His eyes rolled back in his head and he was trying to talk to me, but it was coming out complete gibberish.
Patricia calls 911 and makes a startling discovery. For 1 week, your husband is taking handfuls of pills 3 times a day.
Right.
You look down at the end of that week and see what?
The wrong name.
That blister pack handed over at the Shoppers Drug Mart with the patient's name in tiny letters in the corner was not Rick's medication.
Oh, I was completely freaked out. I was in a complete panic, and I didn't know what pills he had taken.
This letter from the local Shoppers Drug Mart to the ER doctor at Oshawa General spells out the alarming reality. He was taking the medication of somebody who was seriously mentally ill.
Yes.
For 6 days.
Yes. Really high doses. Really high doses.
Rushed to the ICU, Rick Olmstead is overdosing on someone else's medication, anti-psychotics, anti-depressants, tranquilizers that have turned his body toxic. And over the ensuing days, he faces down horrifying hallucinations.
Translucent cats. Yeah, they'd spawn down on my legs and then crawl up my legs and then die. And leave a powder behind afterwards. And I get covered in this powder. Bed bugs squirt out of a mattress and run across the floor. So it was a hell of an experience.
Do you want a banana?
Life is not back to normal despite more than a month out of hospital. Rick says his brain is fuzzy and his body won't stop tremoring. What have the doctors told you about the long-term impact of this?
They don't know. They don't know.
Patricia says she can't believe there are no safeguards to prevent this kind of error.
They hand you the prescription and they scan it. My whole life, I always thought that the name came up on the screen. I believed that they were knowing for sure that they were handing me the right pills. It wasn't just humans' eyes versus, that's it.
Drug safety experts say barcoding technology at the cash register is being studied.
Making sure that this is the patient, for instance, like even our health card, and then this is the prescription that they are getting, and if that match, then give out the medication, and using that technology as a second check.
Shoppers Drug Mart has issued this statement. This is a very serious matter, and our thoughts are with the patient and his family. Patient care is our first priority, and each pharmacy team takes steps to ensure rigorous professional standards. We are reviewing this matter internally.
So when we look at your prescription summary, I think
the Olmsteads have hired a lawyer and are filing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
The word has to get out to every pharmacy and to every patient who who uses medications from pharmacies to be careful, because mistakes can happen, and they probably happen more often than we know.
I wouldn't like to say anybody go through what I had to. I'd like to see something changed.
It scares me because how many other, the elderly that go in there to get their meds, I'm sure they're not looking. I mean, they trust their pharmacist. You can't make mistakes with somebody's medication like this. You can kill them.
And if you're wondering just what happened to the person who actually had the meds that Rick was taking, we really don't know. The only sort of clue that we have is that the letter from the local shoppers to the Oshawa medical team did say that no other patient was involved or affected by this drug mix-up.
I like the barcoding idea.
Great idea.
Very simple, and the way the woman explained it, it's quite simple and kind of fail-safe, right?
They use this already in dispensing, so when it comes from actually getting into the pill box, and now it would just be a matter of transferring that to be used so that when you're at the cashier, it's also, and they are doing this in hospitals. So the nurse will scan the bracelet at the hospital and then also scan the medication. If they match, then you get the pills. Something that needs to happen for sure. I'd love to hear from you about tonight's or any other inside story. I am at City Avery.
The Inside Story runs every Tuesday and Thursday on City News. All segments are up on our website, citynews.ca.